Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you joining us. Today we're going on a bit of a medical detective journey. Look, if you've ever stared at your health checkup results and just felt completely overwhelmed by all those numbers, trust me, you are not alone. We are going to decode those results together today and tackle a silent threat that's affecting millions of us. We'll be breaking down data directly from medical experts to empower you with knowledge that could quite literally save your life.
Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to kick things off with the silent health threat, then dive into good versus bad cholesterol. After that, we'll pinpoint exactly what those danger zone numbers are, and finally, we'll wrap up with 5 totally medication-free solutions. Let's jump right in.
All right, part 1, the silent health threat.
There is this incredibly cruel irony in human biology, which is that the diseases that kill us the most effectively, well, they often have zero symptoms until it's simply too late. Take dyslipidemia, for example. I know, it sounds super complicated, but basically, it's a lipid disorder heavily influenced by our daily lifestyle choices. But here is the really dangerous part. It isn't just the condition itself, it's the fact that it is completely asymptomatic for the vast majority of people. Think about it. When a doctor tells you to improve your diet based on a blood test, but you feel totally fine, the motivation to actually change just isn't there, right? But ignoring it leads to catastrophic outcomes. We're talking heart disease, strokes, and acute pancreatitis, conditions that are either life-threatening or leave you with severe after-effects.
Now you might be wondering, if cholesterol is so dangerous, why does our body even produce it in the first place? It's a great question. We constantly hear that cholesterol is this ultimate villain, something we just need to eliminate entirely. So let's bust a major myth right now.
That brings us to part 2, good versus bad cholesterol. Far from being a pure villain, cholesterol is actually an absolute requirement for human life. It has 3 totally vital jobs. First up, it forms the cell membranes for the roughly 60 trillion cells in your body. Without it, your microscopic cells literally wouldn't hold together. Second, it's a crucial building block for hormones. That includes thyroid hormones that regulate your metabolism and your essential sex hormones. And third, it's a key ingredient in bile acids. Those are the digestive fluids made in your liver that allow you to actually absorb fats. Seriously, without cholesterol, you could not function.
So the real trick here is understanding how cholesterol moves around. Because cholesterol is basically a fat, it can't just dissolve in our watery blood. It needs a vehicle. Try picturing LDL, or low-density lipoprotein, as a delivery truck. Its entire job is to transport cholesterol to all those cells and hormones that desperately need it. But sometimes your body produces way too many delivery trucks, regardless of the actual demand. When that happens, these extra trucks just wander aimlessly around in your bloodstream. On the flip side, we have HDL, or high-density lipoprotein. Think of this one as the garbage collector. HDL sweeps up the excess cholesterol from your blood and your blood vessel walls. Both are absolutely necessary, but as you can see, the balance is everything.
So what actually happens when there are too many delivery trucks and not enough garbage collectors? Let's walk through this slightly terrifying microstory. Step 1. That excess LDL just wanders around in the blood. Step 2. It physically pushes its way into the walls of your blood vessels, which causes them to harden. This is called arteriosclerosis. Step 3. As more and more cholesterol piles up, it forms a plaque. This narrows the passage, meaning less blood and oxygen can get to your heart, which causes angina. And finally, step 4, that plaque can suddenly rupture or burst. The exact moment it does, a blood clot forms instantly to try and heal the rupture. But that completely blocks the vessel. If this happens in the brain, it's a stroke. If it happens in the heart, you've got a heart attack.
Okay, moving right along to part 3, the danger zone numbers.
Get this. This is a staggering statistic derived from a massive 20-year study of over 8,000 Japanese individuals. Researchers found that people who have an LDL level of 140 or higher face a 3.8 times higher risk of a heart attack compared to those whose LDL is sitting at an optimal level of around 80. And the higher your LDL climbs between 80 and 200, well, the risk scales right along with it.
Which brings us directly to your target goals. You want those LDL delivery trucks under 140 and your HDL garbage collectors over 40. But I need to add a very important impartial medical caveat here straight from the source. If your LDL is over 180, this is often a sign of a genetic condition called familial hypercholesterolemia. Or if you've already had a heart attack in the past, then lifestyle changes alone just aren't going to cut it. In those specific cases, strict medical intervention and prescription medication, like statins, are absolutely required to protect your life. So please consult a doctor if you fall into those categories.
Now for the incredibly empowering part. Part 4. 5 medication-free solutions. For everyone else whose numbers are maybe just creeping up into that warning zone, we have some phenomenal news. A 20 to 30% drop in your LDL can often eliminate the need for medication entirely. Here are 5 daily habits we're about to explore, exactly what biological action they trigger, and the ultimate result for your cholesterol. Let's break these down one by one so you can see just how surprisingly simple they are to adopt into your everyday life.
Let's start off with habit 1, adding barley to your diet. Remember how we said earlier that cholesterol is used to make digestive fluids, specifically those bile acids? Well, your liver pumps bile acid into your gut to digest your food, but then your gut actually reabsorbs that cholesterol right back into your body to recycle it. Enter barley. The soluble fiber in barley acts just like a powerful sponge. It traps that cholesterol-rich bile acid right in your digestive tract, so it literally cannot be reabsorbed. Instead, it just gets flushed completely out of your system as waste. Mixing a little barley into your rice at every meal is a ridiculously efficient way to force your body to drain its cholesterol reserves.
Habit 2 is all about swapping your proteins. Saturated fats, the kind you find in beef and pork, directly elevate your LDL. But take a look at this data tracking a study of 40,000 individuals. People who ate 180 grams of fish daily lowered their heart attack risk by a massive 56% compared to those who only ate 23 grams. Why? Because fish contains unsaturated fats, which actively suppress arteriosclerosis. Look, if you love meat, simply swapping out beef or pork for chicken reduces your saturated fat intake. But swapping it for fish, that gives you a massive biological advantage.
Habit 3 addresses a super common trap, especially for older adults who are trying to prevent osteoporosis. We're all told to drink milk and eat yogurt for the calcium and protein, right? But here's the problem. Standard dairy is packed with the exact saturated fats that spike your LDL. The simple, elegant solution here? Just switch to low-fat or non-fat dairy. You get to keep all those fantastic bone-building benefits without clogging up your arteries in the process.
For habit 4, never ever underestimate the sheer power of plants. According to research published in the very prestigious New England Journal of Medicine, consuming 47 grams of soy protein can slash your LDL levels by an incredible 21.7%, and you can easily get this from foods like tofu, natto, or steamed soybeans. Not only are you replacing those saturated animal fats, but soy also provides a hefty dose of dietary fiber, so you're really getting a double whammy of cholesterol-lowering power.
And that brings us to our final habit, aerobic exercise. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I'm skinny, I don't need to work out. But actually, high LDL is heavily linked to visceral fat. That's the fat wrapped directly around your internal organs. You can look completely thin on the outside and still have a really dangerous belly full of visceral fat. But here is the amazing news. When you do aerobic exercise, your body naturally burns visceral fat before it even touches subcutaneous fat. The secret here is to keep a conversational pace. If you're gasping for air, you are going too hard. A brisk walk, some light swimming, or casual cycling for 30 minutes a day is absolutely perfect. And hey, if 30 minutes sounds impossible to carve out, just sneak it into your existing routine. Get off the train one stop early, or ride your bike to the grocery store instead of driving.
So I want you to take a hard look at your daily routine. We are definitely not asking for an overnight lifestyle overhaul here. The biological roadmap is right in front of you, and the numbers speak for themselves. Which one of these tiny, manageable habits will you choose to insert into your life today to protect your heart? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.